What does real financial planning look like? So many people out there think financial planning is find the future value. What do I have today? What do I need to save every year to be on track to have enough in retirement? This is not what real financial planning is. Earlier this year, I was put up against ChatGPT. I was reached out to by an editor at a very well-known publication. You can see the article right here. It made it on Apple Top News story. They said, hey, I want to see if ChatGPT can do what a financial advisor can do. So they asked us a bunch of questions about, hey, I'm in my 20s. I want to retire at this amount of age. What do I need to do? ChatGPT did exactly what I'm saying it did. It just said, hey, here's where you're at. Here's what you need to get to. Here's what you need to save per year. But that's not what financial planning is. Here's how I responded. I asked the person, okay, great. What are your future plans? Do you plan to buy a car in a couple years? Do you have student loans? Do you plan to buy a house? Do you plan to move out of New York City? Do you plan to have kids? Do you want to prepare for their college? Do you plan to stay at your job? Do you think your income is going to go up? Do you plan to start a business? Are you going to get married? This is what real financial planning is. It's not as simple as what do I need to save today? Because you're basing that off of what you spend today, right? For example, I have some clients, they made $200,000 a year a few years ago, and now they're making closer to $700,000 a year. What they're targeting in retirement is entirely different than what it used to be because of the amount of income that they make, because of how their lifestyle changed. So when you really think about it, financial planning is a ton of variables. It's not just some simple calculation with future value and figuring out how much you need to contribute today based on some hypothetical investment rate. Financial planning is everything that has to do with your finances. It's talking about cash flow. What accounts should you have set up? Should you have an emergency fund? Should you have a travel fund? Should you have a savings for a down payment of a house fund? How much should be into those? How much should be saved into those? Then we look to debt. What does your debt situation look like? Do you have student loans? Are you going for PSLF? Are we going to attack these loans over the next 5 to 10 years? Do they need to be refinanced? How much extra cash flow do we have to put towards them? What about your mortgage? What about your car? Do you need to refinance to a lower rate? And then you go to retirement. What account should you be using? Should you be using your traditional 401k or should you be using Roth? Should you be using Roth IRAs or backdoor Roth? Should you be using a taxable brokerage account? Should you be using HSA? Should you be doing a mega backdoor Roth? How much money should you be putting into each one of those accounts? How do you prioritize them in different years where you have less to invest versus more? Then you go to investment changes. How are you invested? Are you globally diversified? Are you taking too much risk in one area? Are you not taking enough risk? Is too much in cash? Then you start thinking about insurances. Is your homeowners maxed out? Do you have liability coverages? Do you have the right auto insurance? Do you have umbrella? Have you picked the right health plan? What's your deductible there? Do you have the right savings for that? You go through every single insurance, and if you have kids, you're thinking about life insurance, right? Do I have enough protection if I were to pass away tomorrow that my family would still be okay? Then you think about equity compensation or business planning, right? So if you have equity compensation and you have ISOs, how much should you be exercising this year? Are you going to be triggering AMT? Have you planned for the taxes? What do you do with the AMT credit moving forward? If you're a business owner, what's the entity selection you have? What retirement accounts have you set up? How are you paying yourself? Are you maximizing QBI? There's so many different things to think about that really goes into holistic financial planning. I don't think softwares can really do it. If you're working with a financial advisor and you sit down and they just put you in their basic software and say, hey, you have an 80% chance of retirement, that's great. It might feel good to you, but there's 100 other variables to be thinking about, to be planning for, to be ensuring that you get right. And this is what real financial planning is. You look at everything that you have going on, you get to know the person, what matters to you, what you care about, what your goals are, and then you align your finances with those goals. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and go subscribe to my channel for more personal finance content. And as always, please leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I promise to get back to every single one of them. We'll see you back next week.